Hey my lovelies, welcome back to my channel and what feels like my first design set in years, although it has only been months. So this set is a fun, bright spring design using one of the glitters from the nail team's Glitter of the Month. So if you'd like to see that glitter and this set created, please keep watching. So I'm working on Ebony today. She is all set up with the gem stiletto tips and I've just nipped the ends off to make more of a long coffin ballerina shape. Let's go ballerina. So this is the glitter of the month. We have got the spring glitter stacker, 5 beautiful glitters, and the glitter I've used in this set, the orange one, is the last glitter I had to use from this stacker. I've done designs with the rest. So I'm going to be using the beautiful Whimsical. This is sort of an iridescent with butterflies, and I love butterflies. So I designed the set around the glitter. So I chose the glitter and then I chose the colours and how I was going to do the design. And I've got this beautiful neon orange Melia. This is from the Taste the Rainbow acrylic collection. It really is a gorgeous bright orange. On screen it just glows. So it is a beautiful orange. I actually think the glitter helps to tone it down ever so slightly, because I wasn't really going for neon. I still love how it turned out. The core acrylic I'm using is Blush. This is a beautiful nude cover acrylic. It is one of my absolute favourites. And then of course we have the Queen, that is crystal clear acrylic. Or is she the princess and Tina Top is the Queen? Well, either way, we've got the Queen and the princess in this design. I'm starting off, as I always do, going in with crystal clear and doing a thin clear base. And I've got to tell you, this was my first acrylic design in the new nail studio. I kind of documented my first acrylic and first gel polish design. I know that is rather sad of me, but you know, we've been talking about the studio for so long, I had to. So I'm just doing nice thin clear base, keeping it very thin. This is not actually necessary when working on a practice hand, but on clients it gives you something to file back to when you redesign. And I'm using the Gems Eleanor brush, which is sort of more of a size 8. I'm desperately waiting for the Kate to get back in stock. So I am doing a reverse smile line because it's one of my favourite things to do. I sounded like I didn't mean that, but I do love doing sort of a French design and a reverse smile line in acrylic. Hand painting a French, not so much. So I placed my first bead of blush roughly where I wanted the smile line itself to be. I did drain out quite a bit of the liquid first so that it didn't move around too much. I probably needed to remove a little bit more, but I am still getting used to the temperatures in this room. So whereas in my bedroom I would have known, I already knew exactly how much because of the temperature of the room. Not quite there with this, and the temperature does affect how the acrylic sets. So yeah, I placed that bead on. I then blended the bead back and then sort of patted and pulled it down to get that shape of the smile line I wanted, and then I used the side and the belly of the brush to really shape that smile line so it's nice and neat for minimal filing. Make sure I've got a little bit of a wall, a step that I can then work the next colour up to, and then once I was happy with that, I'm going in with a cuticle bead and we're just going to blend that nicely into that first bead we've done. We don't want any sort of lines to show in the filed design. I'm not worrying about apex or structure at this point because I'm going to create that with clear acrylic. I just want to get that nail bed shape in. As that starts to set, I'm then going to come in with a bead of clear acrylic and I'm going to create my apex. So make sure this nail bed has got all the structure it needs, so I don't need to do any more with it. And also if I need to, I can add a little bit more height to that wall. Whilst you don't want it too high, you don't want it too low either, because you want to be able to file it to really crisp up that shape, and you want something to push that colour up to, and not have it sort of go over the top, so that when you come to file it, you don't file away the colour and you haven't got that crisp line. So yeah, I always think sort of a few millimetres. The height I did this one, I have to say, was spot on. So I've just added a little bit more clear where I felt the apex needed a little bit more, and then just going in with a touch more because it was a bit wonky and I wanted it to be nicely curved and symmetrical, and it wasn't symmetrical. And then we're going to leave that to set, and once it's set I will file that smile line. So whilst that is setting, I'm going in with the beautiful Melia, and I am applying this on the index and the pinky, just at the tip, because we're going to be doing some ombres. So I placed my first bead, I pulled and painted it down the nail, and then just feathered it back ever so slightly towards the cuticle, just so we've got a softer blend. This is such a pigmented powder. It is one of those where it definitely applies better as a design powder. All the Gems colour powders can be used as strength powders, as core powders, but I much prefer to use them as design powders, especially some of these that are so highly pigmented. I'm literally painting them on. And you see where I sort of swirled it around a bit? That was just to mix the pigment. Sometimes with these neons, the pigment needs a little bit more of a mix. Off camera, I filed my smile line so it's nice and even and crisp, and I also sort of evened up the surface of that nail bed so the wool was sort of consistent height all the way around. And now I'm going in with Melia right around that smile line, not worrying about full coverage to the tip, working some teeny tiny beads to get right up into those wings. I'm not worrying if I overlap and get colour on that nail bed too much, because it is going to file away at the end, because we have got the structure just how we need it on that nail bed. And pushing it right up into the wings sometimes isn't easy to not get colour on the nail bed, and I do always go in with a wet brush and clean up as I'm going. As you see, I blended that out slightly so it was a little bit softer. And now we're going to go in with the beautiful Whimsical glitter. As I said, this is sort of an iridescent orange glitter with butterflies, and I am a big butterfly fan. Most of these mixes have butterflies in them, so that's really, for me, it's a perfect stacker. I started off picking up a small wet bead of clear acrylic, dipping into the glitter, and then placing that at the cuticle on the index. I like to work smaller beads first at the cuticle so I can sort of get that nice shape and not build up too much of the product. Then I just add a little bit more and I'm blending it down towards the tip into my ombre. I wanted to try and pull out some butterflies specifically and pull them down, and then I'm placing a little bit where I've got that clear on this. What are we on? What is this? This is the middle finger. I had to look then, and just blend it back ever so slightly. Also, by doing the colour up in the wings, it meant I didn't have to get glitter into the wings. And then on the ring finger, we're going to do a full nail. So I've brought in the camera a little bit here so you see. So first of all, I did a smaller bead and got that cuticle nice and neat. Just really shaped it, pat it down, and then I can start to add a little bit more. And with the more I'm adding, I'm trying to get some of the shapes in, because I think as well as butterflies, there's some orange neon triangle glitters as well. We're just starting to add a little bit more. We'll feather it as we go down so we're not adding bulk, because remember, we've got to encapsulate this glitter in clear acrylic, so we don't want too much thickness because I don't want to file into it. And I sort of did a bit of playing around using the tip of my brush, making sure I could move butterflies around, get nice coverage of butterflies. I did also try and pick a few butterflies out of the pot so I could just fill in any gaps where I felt I needed some. So I really wanted a good mix of the iridescent glitter and the butterflies. Pat it down and then leave that to set, and we're going to do our ombre on the pinky to complete this design portion of this set. So exactly the same thing, smaller bead to get nice neat cuticle, and then we'll just add more and feather it down over top of that beautiful Melia glitter and just sort of fade it out into an ombre. And you will see I've got more of the shapes here, so I'm just using the tip of my brush to move them around. I do work slightly wetter sometimes with shape glitters than others because I specifically want to move some of the certain shapes. So if you work a bit wetter, you've got more playtime. Once I was happy with this design, obviously there will be some faffing involved because that is my middle name. It's not, it's Francesca, not Francesca, but you know I like faffing. This is the design all laid down. So off camera I'm going to encapsulate in clear acrylic, build up my apex and my structure, make sure all of that glitter is fully encapsulated, and then I'm going to give them a nice file so that they've got that nice neat tidy ballerina shape, refine the surface. I use my Katie Barnes e-file to do all the debulking, and then my Gems hand files to really sharpen up the shape of the nails and neaten it up. And once that is all done, we will come back ready for the queen. I've made the decision. Crystal Clear is the princess, Tina is the queen. So here they are all freshly filed and ready to bring the queen in this design. So we're going to give them a really good clean off. We want to get rid of any little bits of dust or fluff that might have found their way onto the nail, especially around the cuticle. And also these practice hands, they really do attract dust, so I want to get rid of as much of that as I can because I don't want to be bringing that into the nail when I top coat. And here she is, the queen herself, Miss Tina Top, in one of the new style bottles from Gems with the shiny rose gold cap. And we're going to apply a nice generous coat of Tina Top onto all of these nails. Now, I think I left these nails a little bit too smooth. I probably over buffed them. I always buff slightly to get rid of some of the scratch marks from filing, but I over buffed because this top coat wasn't adhering as well to the nail as it normally does. So that was my mistake. I don't know, I think I'm just getting carried away. So I did end up having to apply a second coat of top coat. No, I didn't. I wiped off before I popped in the lamp. I roughed it up slightly and applied a second coat. So I did apply a second coat, I just removed the first. So yeah, you don't want it to be too smooth a surface because there's nothing for the top coat to adhere to. And we're going in the lamp for a 60-second cure, and this design is now complete, and I think it's lovely. It's a very simple design. You know, you're using a core acrylic, a coloured acrylic and a glitter, ombres, full nails. I mean, I suppose the hardest nail on this design is that French, but I loved how this turned out. And as I said at the start, I really think that glitter just brought down the brightness of Melia ever so slightly, and I was really happy with this one. And yeah, I think I was happy with this being my first design video back. It seems silly, but I always want to come back with a bit of a bang. So now room tour, that was a bit of a bang. Let's come back with a nice design, and I love this. This is my sort of spring design. A bit of glitter. I like a bit of orange in spring and butterflies. So there we have it. We are now at the end of this design video, and I really do hope you all have enjoyed it. So that glitter stacker is currently on sale for £7.50 on the Nail Team, or at the Nail Team should I say, but that will be going back up to full price next week when we get to the beginning of March, May even, sorry, they both begin with M, so I was close, and we have a new glitter of the week. So if you like the look of this stacker, now is the time to get it while it is at a reduced price. But don't forget, full price products, you can use my code Helen5 for 5% off. So you will still get a little bit of a deal on it if you wait until May. But do check out the Gems website because all of the products I've used in this video are there, and I will link it in the box down below. If you have enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up, and as always leave me any comments. I love to hear from you, and if you're not already a subscriber, please click that button and come and join me. We are really going to be varying up the videos now. But that is it from me today, so thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again in another video very, very soon. Bye! Mwah!